Welcome to Bravo Confessionals, everyone. As you know, we are huge fans of Below Deck Mediterranean, and why would we not want to chat with the greatest guests that we have seen this season or ever?
I think they were actually dubbed on one of the groups as the best charter guests ever.
Legit. So we are joined by...
Hi, I'm Crystal Flitz. Nice to see everyone, and thank you for having us.
I'm Richard and
Karen Bramwell. Thank you so much for having us.
And we are Chris and Milo. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, so where do we want to start, ladies? Let's just dive right in. So how are y'all for last night's episode?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, Kiko, our heart is just like so filled with sadness, but it's bittersweet because we had such an amazing time with him. He cooked, great dishes, and they tasted very well. Like, they were good, right? And yeah, he had a little blender, but at the end of the day, he was so sweet, and we're just so sad that that went down on our charter.
Now, did you guys have any clue that was happening behind the scenes?
No.
No clue at all.
Like, what you see from us is like literally completely organic. We're in our own world. Our thought process is, wow, we're having a great time. They're having a great time too.
Right.
Like we had zero clue what was happening below deck. Had no idea what was going on with Kiko and Sandy. We were really completely oblivious to it. It would have definitely changed our outlook and our frame of mind if we knew that was happening. We would have been affected by it. So I guess it's a good thing that we didn't see it.
Right, we would have been partying upstairs.
No, we would have been downstairs in the kitchen with them,
like trying to console him.
Yeah.
So now, on the same, how did you feel about with Captain Sandy constantly coming up to you guys saying, how's your food? Is your food okay? Tell me. Did that somehow put something in your brain as well, maybe I should question this guy's cooking?
No, we invited her to sit with us. Yeah, we actually enjoyed having her company. So it was just one of those natural things where Captain Sandy comes to dinner. She's, we tell her, hey, yeah, but Captain Sandy nachos. But other than that, what dinner was, and we told her. So.
I felt like it was just that important to her that we enjoyed the trip.
mm-hmm.
I really thought it was just her, being hospital, and wanting us to have a good time and enjoy every part of the trip.
She just seemed like the host, and she just wanted to make sure the guests were good. So she was just constantly checking in. Everything good? What do you guys want to do? She was just the host. That's all I picked up. I was shocked last night.
Really? And we are joined by the Grams, so let's say hello to the Grams. Hi, guys.
Hello. Okay, so I have to apologize, and Mel and Michelle are going to laugh at me. I kept getting an alert that said B's iPhone is trying to enter. My best friend, Brian, that actually does the music for our show, I call him B. So I kept hitting ignore, why is Brian trying to get on Zoom with me right now?
I probably gone out. Cable went out, so I just had to come on the phone and didn't get a chance to change it. But how are you guys doing? Thanks for having us.
Hi. Of course. Thank you so much for being here.
There was a lot going on in that episode. There was a lot going on.
A lot going on.
I know we can say who cried. Everybody. I know I did.
Everybody cried.
I couldn't that all went down like that. Well, on the yacht, we had no clue all that was going on.
Right.
No idea.
Which is it? That's insane to me to not insane because you guys are having the time of your life, right? But to then know, I don't know how I would emotionally handle that now, being you guys, watching that and thinking I was upstairs partying while this poor guy is bawling in his bedroom.
Well, the way that I handle it is that I'm a firm believer that everything in life happens for a reason. And although it was a very sad situation, it's going to give Kiko a level of exposure that he didn't have before. So it is ultimately going to put him in a better place. So that's how
true.
I see it. You see it with, all these shows. Well, I don't know if I should mention them, but America's Next Top Model, they're not chosen, but you see them somewhere. Someone else picks them up and all the shows. So I really think, and I pray that is the outcome, but I really think it's going to give him a level of exposure, like I said, that he didn't have before.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think he just came out with his cookbook, right? I think he just came out with his cookbook too, so I hope that just rolls.
Like that's not the fit for him because there's something better for him.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I firmly
And he's too happy for being a yacht chef.
Yeah, yeah, we have it.
Like, truth be told. Now, on that, what if you guys were to plan a Vegas themed dinner? What ideally would be on your menu?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I need things with sparklers and dry ice. I'm talking about seafood tower. Maya and I had a conversation not too long ago. Seafood tower, beef Wellington. Let's play with that name of the yacht, right? Beef Wellington. Let's have baked Alaska. Let's just go all out and craziness. Like we have a great restaurant here that we eat at, and their type of menu is very Las Vegas, luxury, nothing fried, just like very well, put together. They have a show with it, and that's what we were expecting. So that's where it fell short because we didn't get that.
Well, you got the show.
When Hannah was constantly like, well, I eat chicken fingers, I eat chicken, I eat mozzarella sticks, I was like, is that what you eat in Vegas? Like, I felt like that's not what I eat in Vegas, but
maybe at like 2 a.m.
Right.
No, can't find nothing. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's you can't we spend a lot of money on the trip and it's our vacation. So we want to eat like we're eating at a 5-star restaurant, British yacht. So when it came out, I enjoyed the nachos. It tastes delicious, but the presentation wasn't there, and the food was just mediocre. It wasn't like knock your socks off, like a Michelin chef. But there were meals that were great, but I felt like it was really hit or miss.
Yeah.
So now, how did you guys get onto the show? Like, is it an audition the same way the cast has to audition, or is it just like a luck of the draw? You're trying to charter a boat and they reach out to you saying, hey, we have this situation.
That's Crystal's area. Crystal, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So let's back it up some. We actually put a yacht on our vision board. So my husband, he wasn't able to make it, but my husband and I, we do a family and friends vision board every year. And so we put a yacht on there, and I had like TV next to it. And the next year, someone reached out to me, a casting director. They got my contact information from one of my clients and said, hey, do you want to charter this yacht? And we're like, of course. We all vacation together. So we always have a good time, and we're like, let's do this. We made the decision in May. We didn't have to audition for it. So it's still a show, even though it was our vacation as well. And we had an audition, and they pitched it to the network, and we got approved. And so we packed our bags and we left in September last year.
That's awesome. See, that's awesome. Like you never really know how it all comes out, but that's good.
I was wondering, so I know like on social media and stuff, you guys go as like Southside, POV TV and all that stuff. Can you explain where that came from?
Yeah, so after the trip, my husband and I were like, let's have an Instagram page, and POV stands for point of view for people who don't know, and let's post things on there of the trip that people didn't get to see, the behind the scenes of our experience, the videos that they're not going to probably put in the show because of editing and time limits for the episode. And so that's how it was developed. And Corey was our photographer, our videographer. He had all of these like videos and photos that were amazing, that looked like they were professionally shot. And we're like, we definitely need to put this on Instagram and show everyone. And then Chris, his relationship that he was fostering with the crew as well, we got amazing videos from them to put on there that you didn't really see that kind of interaction sometimes on the show. And so putting it on Instagram was awesome because we got really great feedback, and people were like, oh, wow, it's nice to see what else would happened on the show that we didn't know. That's
actually pretty cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's like breaking the fourth wall of like, this is like the reality of reality.
Exactly.
So what is that Instagram again?
It's Southside_POV_TV.
So follow them, folks. Follow them on Instagram. So now I have a really tough kind of question. So if you guys don't want to answer it, it's totally fine. I just want to we can edit it out. But you guys had Peter on your chart. I'm sure you all are all aware of what is going down with Pete. Did you get any kind of vibes from him?
Yeah, well, it wasn't vibes from him. It was he was very quiet when we were on the show. There was not a lot of interaction from him. Sorry, my camera out there. We all kind of said, like, what's up with the Pete guy? You know, he's kind of like really quiet. He's not really engaging. Like, what else we could engage them in, this, that, and the other. And there were some underhanded like jabs at Pete during the trip from some of the skits they did. And we're like, where are they coming up with that? Like, what does creepy Pete mean? Like,
No,
pervert Pete or whatever it was. I don't understand that. And then, like, literally the first night, I'm like, oh,
Now
yeah,
I get it.
now I get it. It's making sense.
Yeah, so even when we sat down, because we talked with him too, and it was really difficult to even, well, I mean, first of all, I had a hard time personally just sitting down with somebody that, even if it wasn't the intention when he put that post out there, I had a hard time sitting face to face with somebody that would not be able to grasp the concept of how that is inappropriate. Yeah. And how, like, the way he would talk to the women on the boat and, like, undress Bugsy with his eyes. And so, like, sitting there is just like, I had to, like, woo-saw myself into, like, we can't have a conversation. But that made me, Mel, and Michelle really curious on, like, how was that transformative into him on the boat? Like, could the guests look back and be like, oh, there's something off about that guy. He is a little bit creepy. I don't know.
Some are all having fun, and he's just, like, sitting in the background doing nothing. It's probably like, well, there's a reason he's in the background.
That's how it was. He was really in the background. I think he went out with us one time when Alex and Rob were, you know, they were very engaged. So Pete was reserved. We knew there was something, like Chris said. They used to throw little underhanded shots at him, just about him being a creep. That's all I remember. So.
Yeah, but in terms of anything racially involved, we didn't feel any way that he was discriminating against us.
No.
He was very professional. And so seeing the post, you know, personally, I was taken aback, and I was like, wow, as an African-American woman, you know, this is inappropriate. But, you know, this is the time right now where a lot of people are realizing the actions they've taken. I mean, even big brands, I'm in advertising, even big brands like Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben's Rice, things like that. They just weren't aware, you know, very ignorant. And so it wasn't deliberate. You know, he was given that post and he thought it was funny. But, you know, through education, those mistakes won't happen anymore. And I think he's learned his lesson. And we're open to having conversation with Pete as well about, you know, just moving past that and what he will do, you know, moving forward in terms of racial equality and also sensitivity for things like that.
Yeah, we're kind of if he owned it, sorry for that. You know, that was kind of, it seems like he was trying that. I'm not sure if he actually accomplished that or not.
My feeling on it was, so I'm in a few different below deck groups, and so when everyone was sparking up about Pete being fired and this and that, and I thought, what did this guy do? Because I'm like, he's kind of creepy without any, you know, need for anyone to say anything to it. So then when I Googled and I saw the post, I was mortified. And my initial thought was, I don't care what climate it is. I would look at that and go, oh my gosh, that's not my friend. That's not I want nothing to do with someone like, I don't care what year it is. I don't care if you posted that anytime. I was immediately upset. So yeah, it was hard to interview him. I did a lot of the talking because, you know, I was trying to convey to him that I think knowledge is going to benefit him, asking the question, understanding, and I think we're somewhere in there.
Actually watched your interview. You guys did a really good job of it. I thought you were very professional.
Thank you.
a few
hard. It was hard. I wanted to like, mother. But
opportunity a few times to kind of say to him, I would kill you, but moving on. It's like, okay, but gotta keep this going. So yeah, I just felt like, if I were, to have, an opinion, I just was like, dude, you gotta slow it back, take it in, and really learn from this. If you are going to move forward, not as a person looking to benefit from you being on the show, but as you moving forward as a person, so.
In that regard, what were some of the other, seeing other people, like the other crew members on the boat, did you feel like they were putting on an act or were they just doing their jobs, being themselves? Because I'm curious to know the relationship between Rob and Jess on the boat.
Also, we were encouraging, the relationship. So I didn't really see a lot of them do with the lovey, kissy stuff. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, they were. They were all over each other.
Well, when we went out on the thing, they were. But I'm talking about otherwise,
Rich,
while we're on the boat.
you got to say, Rich.
Prior to that trip that we went off, you didn't really see that go on. I know that, there was something happening, but we didn't really know. And we were just trying to create trouble. Because when we went off with Alex and Bugs, we was trying to get them to hook up. And then we was like, okay, Rob and Jess, let's hook you guys up too. So we were playing matchmaker the whole time. We couldn't find anybody for Pete because Malia wasn't trying to hear it. And
I nicknamed them Job and Rob. I nicknamed them Job. So on the show, they call them Job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
They were cute together. I thought that they would last. So it was quite shocking that they, broke up so quick,
Rob was smooth with the
Yeah.
smooth lines, though. Rob was very smooth with his lines, so I see what happened.
Hit the nail on the head there, Rich. That man knows how to talk to women.
Yes, he does.
In more ways than one.
I call Rob the knob. we know a little on about that guy, so we have some additional info on the person. So moving on.
Anyway, so who was your favorite stew out of all of them that you actually had?
That's easy. Bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Bugsy, definitely. She was a sweetheart. She was on her game. What I have to say, the crew to me, and we kept complimenting them because even, I guess they didn't work well together. They all had great energy. You know what I mean? And I thought that was more important than them being so particular. I'd rather have had a great energy, and they did take care of us. We were well taken care of. I preferred that, but Bugsy definitely, between her decor and just her personality, she was our favorite.
Yeah.
I think Bugsy and Jess was a tie for me. Bugsy was sweet and and I loved her decor, and she really put a lot into making us happy and comfortable. But I love the fact that Jess is so genuine. I really enjoyed her company, our conversations. So I think it's a tie for me, Jess and Bugs.
And Bugs
were close.
I'm sorry.
I think we were Bugs out of the entire group, probably for the females.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bugs wasn't my favorite until I saw she stood on the table and put those decorations up after I had to go up there and eat after that.
And they all walk around barefoot.
Yeah.
Girl, I saw the bottom of your feet.
And stood on the table.
I didn't see that.
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody cleaned it after. We didn't see that part.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So there's another page, and it's called Below Deck Above Average. And this guy, he made a post the other day, and I was just curious what you guys thought. It kind of goes back to the Sandy kind of being like a helicopter captain, you might want to call her. But so when she would come up and, she's talked negatively about the nachos, for just as an example, do you think that affects the way that charter guests would tip? Like when they actually hear the captain themselves say something bad about the crew, when Sandy's whole platform has been, you know, my crew is reflective of me. So why would you talk bad about your crew to the guests when it's then reflecting back on you? And I didn't know if that then falls over into how you guys feel about the crew members when you hear the captain, who's like the head BIC, talking negative about the other people. I was just curious about that.
I think overall, yes, it does make you realize that things could be better. But I think for us, we didn't allow it to shift our tip or how we feel about the crew as in general. But I do believe that, yeah, it definitely does sway people for sure. And we try to be as polite as possible, even with, you know, our discord for stuff, you know. You go ahead.
Sure. I think for me, it was evident that it wasn't a deliberate attempt on anyone's intent on anyone's part. So if there was anything that fell short, I always saw that individual as trying to make it better. So I didn't really use that to judge them, that experience to judge them. I'm like, okay, they just don't know, or maybe they're new, or maybe this is just a new experience for them, or maybe they just didn't understand, or the miscommunication as far as how level of expectation was concerned. But I really didn't see, like, even with Pete, you know, I didn't see it as deliberate. I thought whatever was going on was internal, just with, you know, his crew, but it never felt personal.
I see this,
which is why you guys were the best
charter guests ever.
This is exactly why.
Whatever they were going through, like literally below the deck or whatever, or what do you want to say? Like I was just impressed, like in general, with every single one of them. I mean, I know we got our impression of what had happened to Pete, but literally we called him Professional Pete on the boat because he was so like trimmed back and like proper and sitting up, and his ears were perked up, you know, yes ma'am and yes sir. And they all brought that from below the deck to where we were every time. Like the professionalism on their part, the effort was always there. Even like Karen said, like, okay, maybe something got messed up. The next face we saw was like a smiley face with a fix for the problem or an effort to fix whatever that problem was. So, I mean, Sandy's getting beaten up a little bit here. I don't know how many people have ever run a 200-foot ship, but there's a lot of responsibility there. Like, she's not just like sitting around watching the cameras waiting for somebody to do something wrong and run out there and yell at them. I mean, she's monitoring, you know, like sonar, and she's like plotting courses. The captain's job is a difficult job, and I know that she's taking some heat, but I mean, my overall opinion, like everything that we gave them was like legit. Like, we loved our trip, we loved our experience. We walked away with like friendships, and like I was emotional when we left. I was emotional about stuff, but
and you guys are all actually genuinely friends, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And I cried when you were saying your goodbye to the crew. I was like, oh my God, sweetest. But I just have one question for the Bee's phone.
Yes.
How in danger were you when this jet ski flipped over? I mean, you had life jackets on, right?
Exactly.
And we had a professional rescue diver that was in the water before I could even put my whole head in the water. She was already in there. So we were good. We were good.
No, we were good. I didn't know how to swim. That is true. But I like, you know, so it tipped over. You could see my legs because GoPro is on the jet ski. The jet ski goes under, so it's showing you an upside, you know, from there.
Plus, you know, I was safer anyway.
Yeah.
She was good.
Yeah, wasn't as scary.
I mean, she jumped off, mic off, and like bolted in that water. I was like,
appreciate that.
What is she seeing that I'm not seeing? Is she stuck to the jet ski? Like, what's happening?
It's just funny because we literally had a conversation before that, because I was trying to get Karen on the jet ski, and Malia was like, oh no, you know, you're fine if you don't know how to swim, because she had these certifications about saving people and deep dive swimming and things like that. So I was like, oh, well then go ahead, Karen, go in. And then literally like less than 5 minutes later, the whole incident happened with the jet ski. Barbara and Corey fell off. And it was just very dramatic because we're like, okay, are they gonna hit their head with a jet ski? Are they okay? And you know, my clip like, oh my gosh, because we weren't expecting that to happen. Of course, they were having fun out there, but it just got too crazy.
Right, there's like a kill switch. Like you fall off, it stops.
Yeah, there is.
I think Aaliyah was really concerned for just our safety. She was very protective of us the entire trip. Like, I think everybody on that ship was. They just wanted to make sure we were safe.
Yeah, Leah did.
I mean, I totally appreciate that and I respect that, but she made it seem like you guys were like, you're gonna end up on Gilligan's Island.
Listen, I grew up surfing and I still want someone to jump after me, okay? I'm paying a lot of money to be hanging out here, so come jump in the water with me because you might as well. I mean, someone goes in knowing that they can't swim. It just reflects, you know, much, much better on the crew that they actually are there. It's not like a lot of people are saying she didn't have to. Well, why not? You know, what is she going to stand there on the platform or on the deck and just be like, you good?
All right.
I was so uncomfortable the rest of the time, though, after that happened. I could not imagine having to work in soaking wet clothes. I felt so bad that she was just still up there throwing things around, just
I was
dripping.
chafing for her.
Okay. You know, Malia's a badass. So, you know, she's definitely a hero, a great role model to women and men. And she's just, this season she's so different, right, than the previous season she was on. I mean, it's a total 180. And I wasn't expecting that by, you know, when I saw her, I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna get the same Malia, but no, she has changed completely. She's so professional. She takes her job very serious. And we really enjoyed her. Like, she made sure we were safe and we had some fun toys to play with.
That's right. Right.
And one thing I did know, and I told Corey as soon as it happened, I told her, this is gonna make the show. And sure enough, they prepped for this. Like, oh my goodness.
I was like, I felt so bad for him. He's like, I wasn't gonna kill my wife.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And let me ask you, did any of y'all think it was?
No, I thought it was like complete. I was like, what am I missing that she's darting off so aggressively that I'm missing something? But you guys were both like floating up, and she was
Right.
Immediately, I'm looking for Corey to not be okay in order for Malia to need to jump in. I'm like, wait, where's Corey?
I mean, I get it. She was totally doing her job. She was making it like I get it.
Yeah, there's like, okay, keep in mind that we're on a 200-foot yacht, and this is like what celebrity and like super rich people do. So super rich people expect white glove treatment. Yeah. When I rode the jet ski, now I was out riding around, but I literally sat down on it and like I hit the button and it was like flooded a little bit. It didn't want to start, right? Alex jumps off the boat, swims out to where I am. I'm like, bro, I can do this. Like, he's like, no. I'm like, okay. But that's what white glove treatment is. Like, when you're chartering a yacht like that, you know, the things you didn't see is if you walked out and I took my shirt off, I'm like, oh, my shirt's dirty. I wish somebody would wash it. Bam, it's gone out of my hand. And they're going to wash. Oh my, I'm kind of thirsty, honey. I'm gonna go get a drink. No, what can I get you? Right? Like, that's white glove treatment, and they don't, you know, they don't get a lot of credit for that, and it seems like they're over exuberant about things. But no, she did everything. And white treatment, when you fall off a jet ski and the jet ski's upside down, and keep in mind, we're not in like calm water. This is like 3-foot swells.
That's right.
You jump off that boat and you come get me. I'm paying a lot of money to be here. She asked.
Maybe that's why I don't understand it. I'm broke.
Well,
I mean, I'm just saying.
So, you know.
I'm like, throw me a lifesaver. I'll be all right.
Yeah. They would have been fine, but they got white glove treatment. That's called white glove treatment.
Oh.
That's really the reason, you know.
They did.
We got a uniform unicorn pool in my front yard. We're real fancy over here.
So where are you guys going on your next adventure?
Lord.
Well, COVID is
Oh, I
here.
know.
So we're trying to figure it out. We've talked about a couple of destinations, some staycations. So we have a few options. We do love water. We love the beach. You know, I think 50% of us here are Caribbean. So, you know, we just love to relax by the beach and we work so hard. So we need a break, and especially with our kids running around crazy. So we're thinking about it, but we'll let you ladies know.
Yeah.
What
And if
about
you ever do, maybe we can try and set it up a call between you and Pete. I know that you said that you would be open to explaining
Yeah.
and educating.
Cool with Pete.
I would love for y'all to be return guests, by the way. So, you know,
Nice.
like work that out.
Yeah.
You ladies are amazing. We love your energy, and we would love to.
The next time Barbara riding me on a jet ski.
Yeah, right.
I got a question for y'all that no one's talking about. The anxiety attack, like I had no idea. Like Hannah says, like everything was fine. I'm like, that happened while we were on the boat. I was blown away.
Did you see any of that, those signs of that when Sandy even said, she's like, why are you shaking?
No.
See any of that?
We have, I think we have 4 things we can probably come back and talk about after next week or sometime later, because they haven't covered everything yet. We can really like get into. There's some stuff, some interactions with Hannah while we were there that nobody knows about, and some things that we were talking amongst ourselves that didn't make it the air. So I don't know.
Follow up to the follow up.
Yeah.
That would be cool, just because, like, you know, we were waiting for this one so that we could have this chat, or the latest episode. And then, I think next episode we really get to see it kind of full circle, or the conclusion of, and then, you know, then you will be able to speak of things that have not happened, or.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even like bring up Hannah really throughout this entire talk. We didn't even really talk about Hannah much, because I feel like it's such a heavy subject right now that we don't know the answers to. So it's important for us to know what's going on before we speak on it, I think.
And are you guys like ready to like knowing what actually happens throughout the season before it's over? Like, I know everybody's talking about that Hannah got fired or whatever it is. Like, do you guys know any of this stuff before, or you're just like, when our charter's over, that's it, we're done? Don't know anything more about it.
That's all we know. Yeah.
Don't know anything until it shows up on TV.
Then we can talk
about it.
They didn't. So when we were airing, we just had to watch and figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey Mel.
It's the way they were trying to get more viewers, you know. Just we know they'll be watching every week now.
It worked. It worked.
All your friends and family, like, hey, pay attention. Well, I don't know when it's on, but watch.
Yes. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah.
And so I just want to ask the host a quick question. We're all kind of new to the Bravo Below Deck. We we watched the show, but you guys are like experts. Tell me where this charter ranks. Not like what you guys love us. I want to know like excitement level. How's the excitement level for like what's happening and the drama compared to previous seasons? Are we on par? Is it more exciting? Is it
so? The drama this season is so crazy because they've had more turnover than ever, staff-wise and people working on the yacht. So that can go in two different ways, because, you know, people get connected to the first people they see when they start watching the season. So then they, you know, you feel more connected to that crew as you're seeing the drama and stuff go down. But the way, like, reality of like what happened with Pete and like now they're having to edit him out of everything, that added a whole new layer of drama to stuff. And then like Bugsy coming back and Malia coming back from the past then brings old viewers back in that maybe hadn't watched since Bugsy or Malia had been on before. But the drama's intense because everybody, I mean, what's happening with Hannah, right? She's a main player in this whole franchise, and we don't know.
chef is?
I'm hearing rumblings of.
Do we know who the chef is for next week?
I guarantee it's Malia's
Malia's
boyfriend.
Is
It's
that a
Malia's boyfriend. It's just coincidental that he's coming to visit and he's a chef.
Right.
Mhm.
So I will say y'all are probably, as far as like in order of, you know, seasons and episodes and charter guests and things like that, you're probably about mid. And the only reason I would put you at mid is because we are used to either an issue with the charter guests or an issue with the crew. And y'all are way too nice for what is going on with the crew. So
I love that. I think that's why they're higher for me, because I feel like I love when I see an uncomfortable charter guest that's like reprimanding the staff for doing everything. I'm like, oh God, I just want to like just dig into myself and just like hide. So like to see that you guys are like real people, that if a waitress forgot to bring me my soda or whatever, I would be like, oh, it's no big deal. Like it's totally fine. You know, that you guys are real people. You're rich, but you're real.
I don't know, but the number one rule is don't mess with someone that is like making your food. Someone that's making your food, you mess with, right? Because you never know. Like I lived in New York for a decade, and they're like, Crystal, don't send back that food if it's not right. Just like grin and bear it, and we can work it out later. And I was like, no, what, you're right. So I learned that very early on when I was in New York for a decade. You just don't mess with someone that mess with your food. Period.
I learned that waiting. Thank you, Dane Cook.
And see, I'm from New Jersey, so I get it. I feel like New Jersey and New York are very close. That you just don't. Like, listen, if you don't like it, it's fine. Thank you. I appreciate it. No problem. I'll pay full price. I'm not going to call up the manager because guess what? You're spitting in that.
Or you're doing other things I don't want to know. So.
Well, anything else, ladies, before we wrap it up?
No, I think it sounds good to go ahead and we'll do another chat so that we kind of meet back.
Close out on this Hannah stuff.
Yeah, and just come full circle on that. You know, again, for me, y'all, like, you're already, you know, if there were a scale, you're off the scale. And we're not just saying that. Y'all are the first charter guest spoken to, and we were like, wow, losing it all week. So since we confirmed, so we would love to have y'all back just so that we can, you know, continue the discussion and touch a little bit further in. We all have experience in things that are being said about her, so we have like personal experience that we would love to just sort of open up that discussion and that dialogue. So we enjoyed having y'all, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you for spilling about all the what, but thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. And I will make sure and send this all to you when it's all done.
Hey, Corey's doing jet ski next year.
Next time, call up Jeff, make one of those epic, like 2-week, they continue to show a clip of what just might happen.
That's right.
And Kiko, we love you, Kiko.
Yeah.
Kiko's the best.
Kiko's the best.
Not
Thank
so
you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
I'm ready if you're ready. So much love in this heart of mine.